Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Let me tell you something about us here. We love the pizza, and we love it even more if it is Chef Tjaarts' favorite dreamy pepperoni pizza. Yes, show us how. Chef, lead us into your world of dreamy pizza.
Oh, yes, it's one of those things I think we all have nostalgia for, and we all probably eat it at least once a week. I don't know about you.
Yes, nostalgia from like 5 days ago.
Ah, well, there we go. Absolutely. So what we want to start with, obviously, is your dough.
Okay.
Now, you know, sometimes life is far too short to be making your own dough, so
Yeah.
go and get a pre-made dough from your local supermarket.
Yes.
And off we go with that there. So,
Okay.
I've got some right here, and what I'm going to do is just show you how to sort of roll that out. So you're probably going to lump like this, and all you want to do is just portion out a little bit. Sort of just get your finger and thumb and just sort of squeeze out a ball like that.
Okay, what I like about this recipe is that the opportunity here is for all of us to learn how to make the pizza, those who are very comfortable in the kitchen, as well as somebody who isn't really good in the kitchen. So let's maybe make it basic. Why has your dough got a bit of a shine to it?
So that's a little bit of oil that we've put onto it.
Okay.
So with that oil also it's like a layer. Because if you leave this dough out, what it's going to do is form a crust.
Okay.
And then what you do is you're going to knead that back in, and you have little flakes of crust in there. So that just sort of creates another layer with that oil on top there. Now, entirely up to you, and it all depends on the dough as well.
Yeah.
Is you'll get a lot of people sort of doing it by hand, and they're literally working from the inside and going to keep pushing that dough out and keep moving in a circular
Massage the dough!
Absolutely. And what you end up doing is you end up start pushing it, and you create this sort of ring around the outside.
Yeah.
And a typical Napolitana pizza has this lovely sort of crust on the outside.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do that, good old trusty rolling pin, a little bit of flour on there, and you can roll it out. Now, remember you've got lots of gluten in here.
Correct.
So it's going to stretch out and then sort of spring back. So it does take a little bit of sort of force to go. Now, I'm one of those, you know, whatever the shape comes out, just allow it to be. Just let it be organic.
Well, it's rustic, it's organic, it's at home. You want to make it your own way.
It is, but if you want to try and get it around, all you need to do is just roll it out and then just keep turning it. And where you want the dough to go, so if we have a look at this as a circle, here, I want this to sort of be filled up here. So all you do is just start sort of rolling in that direction and keep sort of moving that as you go.
Well, I do like
around.
that hack. I like that hack because it's easy to get carried away and not know where to end it.
Absolutely. So keep going with that there. Now, I find at home, you know, and we all use our ovens. If you haven't got a pizza oven, try and get something quite thin that it can cook quickly as well.
Okay,
all right. So you want to try and get this as thin as you can. And, you know, this dough really is pliable and you can really work it, especially if it's a shop-bought one.
Yeah.
So get that out. And as you can see, I keep bringing it back up and it sort of, you know, shrinks back in itself there.
Great.
But just keep working it with your hands ever so simply like
Now, I'll
that.
have a lot of cheese on my pizza, sir.
Oh, okay,
and
well, you're
I'm
doing
already hard at work here,
that job.
grating.
Okay, you're doing a good job there. The other way, obviously, what people do as well is they can sort of stretch it in their hands as well, and just working out from the outside, from the inside to the outside, and then you can start to see it starting to sort of, you know, stretch. You know, and let the gluten sort of do its work.
Don't be
just keep going like
scared.
it. I think absolutely. Don't be scared. If it tears, it doesn't matter. You know, just let it
Start again.
Well, not to start again, but you can still use it like that there. And look how that looks so lovely like that. You can just see I'm getting quite thin here. Trying to avoid to get too thin. I'm going to show you what not to do sometimes.
Okay.
But that's absolutely fine.
Beautiful.
Pop it onto a baking tray that you're going to cook straight away. Try to pick it up and slide it back in. All depends on the consistency of your dough. But for safety, pop it onto here. This can be pre-warmed as well, or heat this up.
All right.
Also help start cooking the bottom there.
And depending on whether you've gone for a thin base or thick base?
Yeah, as I said, but again, try and do a thin base now so it cooks quickly in your oven. Crank up that oven, really get it hot. As hot as you can get it. You know, sort of we're talking like 250 degrees. So really crank it up there.
Okay, well, next week, in fact, in the next show, we are going to have some Italian chefs coming.
Oh.
I like that we are starting this conversation now because when they do come here, you'll learn more about the heat factor and what to do, what not to do, and how they get it so perfect every time.
Okay, so I'm just putting a lovely little base. Obviously, you know, tomato sauce out of a sort of a bottle or sort of a can. Entirely up to you. Again, don't be tempted to put too much on it as well because this is going to create steam, which is moisture, which is going to end up with a bit of a soggy bottom.
Nobody likes that.
And then, of course, your pepperoni, you can just sort of lace onto the top of this here. Again, don't get carried away too much with too many toppings as well. And, of course, some lovely bits of cooked bacon.
I like that.
Again, cooked because if you put raw bacon on here, it's going to leach all its oil and be very fatty and greasy. So we've removed half of that there. And then if you can do the honors and come and sprinkle some cheese.
Oh, sir,
on
say
top there
less.
as well. Now, it's up to you. Some people want to go all the way to the outside. I love to keep a little bit of a border around the edge because you get that lovely sort of crispy crust on the outside.
It looks pretty.
And as much or as little as you want, really.
As much.
Not much. But again, remember, it's moisture that you're putting on. So don't get too carried away.
Maybe spread it evenly.
Here we go.
Almost. Okay,
and I'm going to put a little bit of dried mixed herbs on top because that's going to give us a lovely earthy sort of fragrant layer. And that's it.
That is it.
Simple is absolutely key. Into an oven, and that's literally going to take you a couple of minutes. Or, you know, if you've got a lovely pizza stone at home, get that really hot as well. Slide it on there, and off you go.
About how long plus minus do you think in the oven?
Oh, so in your oven, I mean, it's probably going to take you any from sort of maybe 6 to 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, you know, depending on your oven and what your setting is. So they all are going to vary. You work out what's best there. But as it keeps coming out, you know, get people around the kitchen counter. They must all sit and just enjoy and just cut up. I mean, how good is that? You're like got into a bit of a daydream there. Yep.
I'm dreaming.
You're dreaming. Well, I think that's what pizzas actually do to you at the end of the day. I mean, it's like a dream food that we all love and associate and resonate with. I mean, it's one of my favorites as well. Oh, silence is golden, isn't it?
And so is this pizza.
Oh.
Honestly, so good, so delicious, so dreamy. But Jay, what the heck do you have in store for us today? I'll save you some pizza.